and first lights like online services. Today's topic covers the devastating effects that can occur when you find out that your partner has been unfaithful, things you can do to cope with these effects, and how to try to put yourself on the road to a healthier recovery. The emotional and mental impact of finding out that your partner has cheated is usually severe. Cheating is not just related to one gender. The stereotype that men are cheaters no longer fits. Over time, more and more women are cheating. Researchers put emphasis on the reasons that women are cheating is because they're out in the workforce, online communications are prevalent, cell phone communications, and online dating websites, some of which are specifically designed to promote having an affair, such as the famous Ashley Madison. Now, here are some research statistics that I want to share with you to give you a general idea of how prevalent this behavior is. About 25% of married couples will experience some type of infidelity within their relationship, and 40% of people in non-married couples. It is estimated that if someone cheated before, there is a 350% chance that they will be unfaithful again when compared to those who have never cheated on their partner. Approximately 10% of affairs start online. 40% of online affairs turn into real-life affairs. 36% of affairs happen with coworkers. 22% of men have cheated on their significant other at some point in their relationship, whereas 14% of women have cheated on their significant other. 9% of affairs are what we call revenge or anger cheating. Now, here is a further breakdown, of current research. 15% of cheaters reported that they grew up in a home with both parents, in comparison to 18% of cheaters who reported growing up in broken homes. People in the 30 and below and 70 and above age groups are less likely to dissolve their relationships when cheating occurs within them. 11% of females between the ages of 18 and 29 are highly likely to be guilty of cheating, compared to 10% of males in the same age group. Now, males between the ages of 51 and 59 have the highest infidelity rate at 31%. 17% of women in their 60s reported being unfaithful. The infidelity rate among males in their 70s and 80s reached 26%, whereas females in the same age group reached 24%, both very high. Websites that focus on same-sex partners show that 70% of alleged cheaters posted under the LGBTQ categories were men. Another study revealed that 33% of males and 22% of females claimed that they would be more tolerant if their partners had cheated on them with a same-sex partner. People cheat for their own reasons. These reasons by no means excuse the behavior, because no matter what the reason is, the person doing the cheating made a personal choice to engage in that behavior. Some of the more common excuses that we hear are lack of love, where the cheater claims that they would have lost the passion or fell out of love with their partner, or their relationship has just become boring and dull. Next is sexual desire, where the cheating partner feels unsatisfied with their sex life, or they lost interest in their partner and wanted to try something new or experiment with sexual activities that their partner refused to experiment with. The cheater may also be motivated to experiment with their own gender or find a different type of identity. Next is neglect. This is where the cheater claims that they feel that their partner was not paying enough attention to them or was not spending enough time with them. Next, situational cheating. This is where the cheater stays, well, I was in a different environment. I was traveling for business. I was on vacation with my friends. I was intoxicated. I was just under a lot of stress. And then all of a sudden, they have this impulsive urge for sexual contact that typically they say would not be part of their stable everyday behavior or environment. Next is variety. This is where the cheater feels that they want lots of different sexual experiences with as many partners as possible. Low commitment to the relationship for various reasons. The low commitment aspect has everything to do with the cheater's personal dynamics and not yours. Low self-esteem, where the cheater feels that having an affair will make them feel better about themselves and a way that they can state their independence. All right, next is anger, revenge, cheating. This is the worst. This is where the cheater feels that they need to get even and punish their partner. And the motivation is anger, and that drives the revenge. This type of motivation is not healthy, and it is something to be carefully examined because it says a lot about the cheater's personality dynamics, especially because they were able to commit such a calculated, vengeful act that is premeditated and purposely designed to get back at their partner and hurt them. Now, there are some differences in the motivation to cheat between genders. Men are more likely than women to have affairs, and when they do cheat, it's usually motivated by searching for more sex or attention. This is because men tend to express their love in more physical ways. If they are not sexually satisfied, they will also take this as a rejection and very personally to a point where they may feel unloved. Men overall are more likely than women to cheat because they feel insecure. Now, women, on the other hand, are more likely looking to fulfill an emotional need that they no longer feel they receive from their partner. They feel emotionally disconnected from the relationship. They feel unappreciated, ignored, taken for granted, and they search for the emotional intimacy more than the physical intimacy. When women have affairs, many times their relationship becomes a transitional one, and it helps them find a way to leave their current partner. This does not mean that women do not also want sexual satisfaction, because that is also part of their motivation. Now, there are 4 different types of cheating, but they are all equally devastating. One type is physical cheating. And of course, this is where it involves being sexually intimate with someone other than your partner. This is one of the most common forms of cheating, and it affects men and women differently. Men view this type of cheating as emasculating and a form of physical rejection, while the woman will more than likely see it as a physical indiscretion and forgive it if they perceive that no emotions were involved when their partner had the affair. Next is emotional cheating. This may include physical intimacy, but not all the time. It can start as an innocent friendship or an online relationship. When it exists and it's recognized by the non-cheating partner, the typical cheater's response is, "We're just friends." This type of cheating, this is where the cheater starts to confide in the person, share thoughts, feelings, dreams, develops an emotional closeness that is inappropriate and should be reserved for their significant other, because this makes the cheater's heart and true commitment absent in their significant relationship. Next is cyber cheating. This has become a problem. It includes viewing internet pornography, online dating, and flirting with other people on social networking sites. It is the hardest form of cheating to discover because you need to be able to get into your partner's computer and have their password. Last is text message cheating. This newer form of cheating happens because it's easy. People find it exciting and texting to arrange to meet up for a date. Now, women tend to find emotional affairs more unforgiving, where men tend to be more forgiving of emotional affairs. For both genders, when your partner has been unfaithful, it is still emotionally devastating and can have serious effects on your mental and physical health. Research shows that when cheating is discovered, 54% of relationships end immediately. About 30% that remain together will eventually, over time, end. Only 15.1% of relationships work their way out and stay together very long term. Regardless of the type of affair, there is no excuse for cheating, and the non-cheating partner is not to blame, since the act of cheating itself becomes a personal choice. The question that often arises is, if you can really love someone, how can you cheat on them? Well, the answer is, if you truly love someone, really love someone, then you wouldn't be able to cheat on them. The cheater may think that they feel that type of love for their partner, but in reality, it's really not there to the level that they believe, and they definitely do not respect their partner at a level that they should. Now, the personal effects on the person who was cheated on can be devastating and take up to 3 years for that person to even start to feel somewhat normal again. There are also effects that can be lifelong, which means they will never go away completely. Now, first, all trust in the relationship is shattered. The person that you loved, that you believe loved you, made a personal choice to break this most sacred type of trust. The cheating was not your fault, no matter how much your relationship with your partner may have been struggling at the time of the affair. The cheating was their personal choice, and you are not to blame for those cheating acts. You lose all self-esteem and instantly lack self-confidence. You start to question everything around you, yourself, and wonder why you're just not good enough. This can easily snowball into a cycle of negative thought patterns. You start to blame yourself for your partner's cheating. You feel hopeless about the future, and you start to feel worthless in every aspect of your life, including within your friendships and your work or career environment. Start to feel alone. Cheating can trigger a reaction where you find yourself withdrawing from everyone. It could be because you don't feel like you're worth anything, or because you're ashamed and embarrassed. This often leads you to want to stay in the relationship, but research shows that staying together for that purpose usually leads your self-confidence levels to really, really hit bottom before they have any opportunity of recovery. Many people will start to visually imagine the affair And it is even worse if you know what the person looks like, or if you know the person, if they're a friend or a family member. You start comparing yourself to that person. You start having bad dreams or nightmares about the affair. You don't sleep well anymore. You struggle to focus on routine tasks, and you are constantly mentally and emotionally preoccupied. In turn, this all contributes to making your sense of self-esteem and self-worth further spiral downhill. Now, the sadness and painful emotions that you feel often lead to a disruption in your daily life and can easily escalate to depression, which almost seems impossible to snap out of. You start crying often. You no longer find joy in the things that you like to do. The lack of pleasure further leads you to more isolation and negative thought patterns. You can actually develop suicidal thoughts that are rooted in your feelings of worthlessness. The thought of hurting yourself can feel like a solution to just end the devastating emotional pain that you are experiencing and take back some type of control to express yourself, because feelings are too difficult at this point to verbalize. You can develop issues with eating by either losing your appetite or overeating. You can base gaining or losing weight on your self-worth. Eating problems are linked to stressful events or trauma, such as cheating, where a person's lack of confidence or control starts to turn into becoming an intense, critical view of themselves. You can develop anxiety and panic attacks. The anxiety is rooted in the feelings of being under threat and is common when we feel a stressful event has a major impact on our lives. Anxiety starts to affect your mental health and can start to interfere with performing even simple daily tasks. It leads you to feel restless all the time, have distressing worries that are hard to control, constant thoughts about the affair, and can lead to panic attacks that bring with it very scary physical symptoms. Some people cope with these painful emotions by turning to alcohol and recreational drugs just to escape the pain. Although that may give you a very brief escape, the effects of this behavior is dangerous and can be very damaging to your health and bring on more panic attacks. You can easily become addicted to what you're using, or it can actually lead to psychosis. You start to experience periods of intense anger, then intense sadness, a lot of different mood swings. You will start to experience a complete lack of trust in others, but more importantly, trust in yourself. You will question your judgment, your abilities, and your decision-making skills. Very long-lasting or lifetime effects of being cheated on could also occur. One of the major issues is the ability to be able to trust again. This is very difficult, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of determination. You need to start trusting yourself again, though, in order to start the road to recovery and rebuild yourself and put your life in somewhat of a positive direction. Another long-term effect is a buildup of resentment, bitterness, anger, and hurt that starts to impact how you act towards people around you. Remember that trust is broken from the infidelity, and that trust was very sacred. That trust costs nothing, but it can cost you everything once it's shattered. Once it is completely gone by a cheating partner, your physical and mental health take a huge plunge. And this is often projected onto others and how you interact with them, such as your children, other family members, co-workers, and even casual relationships. You may struggle long-term with the ability to trust when you start a new relationship. Being cheated on clouds our perceptions about relationships as a whole now, and there is always a sense of mistrust and a major fear of being betrayed again. This leads us to interact with future romantic relationships with our guard constantly up and being hypervigilant. It can also lead you to develop strong defenses that will be hard for a new romantic interest to penetrate. You can develop post-traumatic stress disorder due to the strong emotional impact of the trauma you experienced. These symptoms will be triggered on and off by environmental and situational factors. It can bring on flashbacks, nightmares, cause periods of anxiety, panic attacks, and restlessness. So how does someone deal with short-term and potential long-term or life-lasting impact of being cheated on? Well, there are a couple of things you can do. First and foremost, you need to remember you are not to blame. There may have been problems in your relationship that were a contributing factor to, but you are not responsible nor to blame for your partner's poor choices and engaging in this type of behavior. That is their issue and not yours. Second, you need to accept that things are going to be bad for a while. They're really going to suck. And that is going to take a long time to heal. You don't have to like it, but don't fight it either, because it's something you can't change. It's something you need to go through. Focus on trying to fix your broken heart. Another important way to a path of healing is now it is time to put yourself, your needs, your desires first, your partner second. You are the most important person here. So it is time to take care of you. Your emotions can easily turn to anger and then quickly back to severe sadness and back and forth. During the angry periods, try very, very hard to keep the anger channeled in a healthy way and finding some type of outlet to channel it where it's going to make you feel better about yourself. Avoid letting that anger get you into trouble by engaging in risky behaviors or becoming combative or assaultive. Do not make decisions because you are afraid. Whether you stay or not with the cheating partner, there is no right or wrong. You must do what you feel is right for you. But if this decision is driven by fears of being alone, or on the other hand, you leave your partner because you fear that this will happen again, this would be the wrong way to make the right decision for you. It's okay to take your time to make the choice that is going to be right for you. That choice can happen in days, usually not months, or take up to several years. Do not be rushed by your partner either. You will know when that time is right for that decision and what is right, what is the right decision to make for you. Surround yourself with people who are the closest to you that love and truly care about you. I say really love and care about you because we can think that people feel that way about us, only to learn when there's a crisis, they're superficial and they're going to tell you what you want to hear. But people who truly love you and care are not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they will also not pass judgment, and they will try to be objective, very supportive, and be there to listen to you. It is best, if at all possible, not to tell other people about your partner's indiscretions, at least not initially. People are full of good intentions and advice, but in this state of mind, you are very vulnerable, and it can make decisions based on what others say and not really what's right for you. Also, if you decide to stay with your partner, remember that people are very quick to form judgments, and it may put added pressure on the relationship and especially on you. Take a break from social media. Seek professional help. This is one of the most major positive acts that you can do for yourself that will help you promote healing. An unbiased professional can help you on a path to rebuild your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and help you work through the trauma that you have now been through in a much healthier way than you can do on your own, and hopefully help you to minimize any potential long-term or lifelong effects that were mentioned earlier. If you decide to stay with your partner, you should express your feelings. Part of healing is going to be predicated on your partner's ability to truly empathize and not pretend that they understand what you're feeling, that they show complete remorse, take full responsibility for what they did, and their ability to be there for you, to let you talk whenever it is needed. It is important that they don't just listen, but find a way to really understand some of the pain and negativity that has made you feel horrible about yourself, your inability to trust, your need for complete transparency now, the array of emotions you are feeling day to day or minute to minute, what you are experiencing and how you overcome the long-term effects of this trauma and what it's caused. Even when trying to stay together, remember, you have to put yourself first for a while and work on you. This can be a very, very difficult process because not all men typically view cheating differently. If the affair was sexual, the man has to deal with feeling emasculated. Although they go through similar things, okay, they tend to be able to be more forgiving long-term than women are. These differences in gender can contribute to not feeling that your partner is empathizing with you enough, or you may feel that they don't listen in a way that you feel that they really need to, so that you are understood and the pain and suffering that you're going through is understood. The conclusion here is that this experience is going to change you as a person, both short-term and long-term. If you are going through this, people who seek assistance and guidance of a professional tend to work through the pain, not quicker, but in a healthier manner, and minimize the long-term or life-term effects this can have. You might be able to trust again, at least to a level that is necessary to maintain a romantic relationship. If you've been through all of this already, but feel that you are not emotionally where you want to be, please seek the help to rework any negative long-term results that may have occurred or are occurring. Regardless, remember that you are a good person and you deserve better, whether that means with or without your cheating partner. Please take a moment to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also write to us at support@firstlightpsych.com if you have any further questions about this webinar, or you want to suggest topics for future webinars. And remember, you are worth it. You do have self-worth. You are a good person, and you will come out of this a different person on the other side. But let's make it a positive and healthy one. Any questions?